The National Electrical Code, or NEC, Section 406.9b states that all 125-volt, single-phase, 15 and 20 ampere receptacles installed in bathrooms, garages, and within 6 feet of the outside edge of kitchen countertops are required to be ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protected. NEC Section 406.14c states that ground fault circuit interrupter protected receptacles in existing installations shall be identified as such. NEC Section 210.4a states that branch circuits supplying ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles shall be permanently marked to indicate the presence of the ground fault circuit interrupter. NEC Section 110.24 states that electrical equipment shall not be modified in a manner that will impair its original operation. In order to ensure that the hospital employees are protected from harm, a course of action is required to be taken. Firstly, verify the electrician's claim. Request documentation or evidence demonstrating that the receptacles are indeed wired on a ground fault circuit interrupter circuit. Secondly, document the discrepancies. Record the location of the non-ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles, their lack of labeling, and the electrician's statements. Thirdly, inform hospital management. Bring the safety concern to the attention of hospital management, emphasizing the potential risk to employees and the code violations. Fourthly, request testing. Explain that the receptacles must be tested to ensure they are functioning properly, even if it is claimed they are on a ground fault circuit interrupter circuit. Emphasize that not testing them could be detrimental to employee safety. Fifthly, follow up with hospital management and the electrician to ensure that firstly the receptacles are labeled as ground fault circuit interrupter protected. Secondly, the branch circuits supplying the ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are permanently marked, and thirdly, the receptacles are tested and confirmed to be functioning properly. Sixthly, document actions. Keep records of all communications, documentation, and actions taken to address the safety concerns. Hospital staff should be trained on the importance of ground fault circuit interrupters and how to test them. Regular inspections and testing of ground fault circuit interrupters should be implemented as part of the hospital's safety program. If the electrician or hospital management continues to resist, you may consider seeking guidance from the local building inspector or code enforcement agency. The requirement for ground fault circuit interrupter protection within 6 feet of sinks is primarily intended to minimize the risk of electrical shock in areas where water is likely to be present. Water significantly reduces the resistance of the human body, making it easier for current to flow through a person, potentially causing severe injury or death. Ground fault circuit interrupters work by monitoring the current flowing to and from an appliance or receptacle. If there is an imbalance, even a very small one, it indicates that current is leaking to ground, possibly through a person. The ground fault circuit interrupter will quickly trip the circuit, cutting off the power and preventing an electrical shock. The 6-foot distance is a standard that has been established to provide a reasonable level of protection in areas where water exposure is more likely. The NEC guidelines help to provide a standardized level of safety across different installations. The NEC also addresses the identification of ground fault circuit interrupter protected receptacles. Proper labeling is essential for several reasons. Firstly, it informs users that the receptacle is ground fault circuit interrupter protected, which can provide a sense of security. Secondly, it alerts maintenance personnel and electricians that the receptacle requires special handling and testing procedures. Thirdly, it ensures that future modifications or repairs are done in a way that maintains the ground fault circuit interrupter protection. The NEC requires the branch circuits supplying ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles be permanently marked to indicate the presence of the ground fault circuit interrupter. This is because ground fault circuit interrupters can sometimes trip unexpectedly, and it is important to be able to quickly identify the affected circuit and reset the ground fault circuit interrupter. Proper labeling also helps to prevent confusion and ensures that the correct circuit is being worked on during maintenance or repairs. Modifying electrical equipment in a way that impairs its original operation can have serious consequences. It can compromise the safety of the equipment, increase the risk of electrical shock or fire, and void any warranties or certifications. Therefore, The NEC prohibits such modifications and requires that electrical equipment be maintained in its original condition. In the scenario that the receptacles are in fact wired to a ground fault circuit interrupter, it is still imperative that they be tested. The ground fault circuit interrupter can fail over time, and it is not possible to visually determine if it is functioning correctly. A ground fault circuit interrupter tester is a simple device that can be used to verify that the ground fault circuit interrupter is tripping properly. It is important to test ground fault circuit interrupters regularly, typically monthly, to ensure that they are providing adequate protection.